Well, I'm probably going to get in trouble for talking about this. So, I don't know if I should, but I'm going to. So, I am a G. And my friends are G's. And, I'm probably part of every gang on this planet. Hopefully we can all unite. And I don't hate the cops unless they're killing unarmed, especially if they're killing black men. I hate that. But, pretty much the G way of life is self-defense to the max. And also some camaraderie. I'll tell you a story. Two things that make me quite nice, but very cold-hearted G. Is one, I realized when I had my first abortion that if I can let someone kill my fetus, that I can survive without anyone. Although with my son, I figured out that I have a love for him that I didn't even know was possible to love anyone that much. And sometimes I've thought to myself that I've loved my man too much. I've given him everything, whatever man at the time, blah, blah, blah. But no, my love for my son, endless. But yes, if you have aborted, then that makes you a G. And I still don't recommend aborting, because when you realize that you lost your fetus, not only does it break your heart, but really you realize, I don't need anyone. I'm in it alone. Like, not that I don't need anyone, because my son is what kept me, my son and a complete love from the crocodiles, alligators, and the sharks is what kept me alive in the ocean of Costa Rica for 16 hours. Because they could have eaten me at any point. Totally 100% could have eaten me. Thank you to the sharks, crocodiles, and alligators. But what kept me swimming for 16 hours instead of just giving up and drowning, which I was tired on this level that I never thought I could be tired. Like, more tired than running from the cops for hours and hours. More tired than days and days and years and years and years of playing soccer and swim team and all that shit. More tired than anything I ever imagined. 16 hours swimming in the ocean. My son kept me alive through that. My love for my son. I was like, I'm going to see my son again. I'm going to stay alive for him. I'm going to make it for him. I'm going to see him again. I will never give up on my life. My son keeps me alive. But, and some love for myself, But what makes me a G, and I'm not necessarily proud of this. I'm probably going to get in so much fucking trouble. But when I was in Costa Rica, I was trespassing. Very illegal. Because I had decided, I entered Costa Rica illegally. And I was a refugee sort of in Panama. And I illegally crossed the border of Costa Rica. I found about 40 places to illegally cross the border. But I illegally crossed the border and I was trespassing. I was like, okay, I'm an illegal immigrant. I'm going to cut through the jungle to get to this other town. And I did. Well, about the middle of the night, I started getting scared. And I don't get scared often. I was being hunted. I think I was being hunted by the feds. At the time, I didn't know if it was the feds or like a giant jaguar. But I've since realized that the jaguars are not going to eat me. Me and the jaguars have peace. So I was being hunted by the feds. So I got scared. Because I figured out the fucking feds and the cops, if they get tired of going after you, most of them will just kill you rather than try to catch you live. So I got scared. So I'm like in the middle of the jungle. And I see this shack in this house. I'm like, all right, I'm going to spend the night under this shack. And it happened to be like, sort of like a chicken coop. But it had a big opening big enough for me. And it was sort of closed. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to die tonight. And I'd lost a shoe too in the jungle. So that was annoying. So I was barefoot. So I get under this shed. And the owner of the house noticed, I didn't think about this, right? That someone was in his shed. And called the cops. Well, I didn't realize that. I was just like, I'm going to sleep with these chickens. So I started trying to go to sleep. And all of a sudden, 5 cops, 2 firemen, an ambulance show up in the Costa Rican jungle trying to get me out of the shed. Well, I'm like, I'm not getting out of this fucking shed because I know that I'm either going to jail or a hospital. So I was like, I'm not getting out of this shed. So they start pulling apart the shed to try to get me out from under the shed because this chicken is saving my life, right? I didn't even realize at the time, but the cops had picked up a weapon. It was like the scythe, the Grim Reaper tool, but it was like rusted. And they had started trying to like cut me out of that motherfucker. And the chickens kept getting in their way. I didn't even realize this shit. Well, then they get to like the bottom level of the shed and they get some of the boards off the floor removed, and I'm like hiding between some boards that can't move, and I'm like a fucking wild animal, like not foaming at the mouth, but probably close. And I'm like getting out from under the shed. Well, then, and I ended up, well, I'll get to that. So I do, of course, I'm not happy with the decision I made, but I am 100% a self-defense motherfucker. And I teach my son that I'm okay with everyone feeling that way because I'm not busy hunting motherfuckers down trying to kill them. That's not something I do. That's not something anyone could pay me to do. If someone keeps trying to kill me or my son, that's something I might one day have to do if I have to. I don't know. I hope it doesn't come to that because I'm not that type of person. But anyway, so this one cop I noticed, first time I noticed that they have this weapon. And I mean, of course, I think they had guns, but they weren't pulling their guns on me, which I appreciate. I probably would have got me out from under there, probably, but who knows? They didn't pull their guns on me. So this one cop, I'm under the shed trying to dodge their hands. They're trying to pull me up. I'm just like, no, fuck you, screaming in Spanish. He starts swinging this fucking scythe trying to cut my feet off. I got so goddamn pissed. And this is what makes me a G. And I guess dangerous, even though I'm not dangerous. But he kept swinging this fucking scythe, and I realized this motherfucker's trying to cut my feet off. He's like really fucking trying. So I fucking grabbed that thing, turned it around, and stabbed him with it. Yeah, that was so illegal. So, but it was self-defense. Well, finally they got me out. Probably because I felt bad about stabbing him. And they took me to a hospital, and they weren't watching me. So I got up and I left. Well, about a month later, I got arrested. And then I was like, holy shit, I am going to go to death row in Costa Rica. And so I realized I didn't have a lawyer. And my Spanish is only mediocre. So I'm sitting in this detainment cell in Costa Rica, like, holy shit. Holy fucking shit. And so I stripped off all my clothes, and they were just like, this bitch is too crazy to try. And so they took me to a hospital, and then I spent about 3 months in a hospital. And then they let me go. And I thought, well, the Costa Ricans aren't that mean. So, and I'm sorry I stabbed the cop. But just let you cops know, there is never a time y'all have a right to cut somebody's legs off or shoot them like getting up in their sleep. There is never that time. The point at which you go in there trying to kill a motherfucker is the point at which that person has a right to defend themselves. And I understand when y'all have a right to arrest somebody, but you don't have a right to kill them. You don't have a right to cut their fucking feet off. So, but I am a G. And I'm a very respectful G. And I try to love everybody. I try to respectfully get along with everyone. But another thing, and this is not a threat, but you cannot call me mentally ill. I am 100% self-defense. You calling me mentally ill is attacking me in a way that I can't even defend myself. And it's not okay. And it's not okay to ever call my son mentally ill. It's not okay to call my family mentally ill. It's not okay to call the other gangsters mentally ill. But at the same time, if you got to make that decision between death row and mental illness, you know, they wouldn't even let me choose death row, but stripping naked, they can't handle that one. So, and like I said, then never in my mind was there a consideration that that day I would be stabbing a cop, because I thought, this is not something I would do. But if somebody tries to cut your feet off, I don't know, they say in the South, if somebody tries to kill you, you grab that gun, you point it at them, you beat them with it, you know? So, the whole moral of the story is basically you shouldn't stab a cop, but a cop shouldn't try to cut your feet off or kill you. So, we all have a right to self-defense. And just because someone's job dictates that they call someone mentally ill, or that they stab someone or shoot someone and kill them, that does not ever make it okay. And honestly, I think that if a cop kills an unarmed person, that cop should do as much time as other people have done killing an unarmed person. Because it's not okay. I do understand that sometimes it's hard to tell if they have a weapon, but there is so much penalty on killing a cop that no one goes out trying to kill a cop. Everybody's scared to kill a cop. You know? It's the point of complete desperation to survive with all your limbs and body intact that makes someone fight back. That made me stab this guy. And I do want to say sorry, but it did happen. And we do believe in self-defense. And it is not okay when people are taking advantage of self-defense and acting like citizens don't have a right to self-defense just because the cops have a search warrant or the cops have been called. It's not okay. I definitely had my punishment. I'm pretty sure the civil commitment is still punishing me today based on what I did in Costa Rica. And I am being horribly punished. But, you know, that cop, I didn't do any permanent damage to him. I'm sure they gave him a tetanus shot. Would they have given me a tetanus shot if I got stabbed? Probably not. And like I said, Don't try to cut somebody's feet off. Don't come in their house trying to kill them, even if you're a cop. But at the same time, the people who are not cops, don't go out trying to kill anybody outside of self-defense, you know? So, but these gangs, all they're trying to do is get by. It is all they're trying to do. So y'all can go around hating on gangs, but it is a camaraderie, a friendship of people trying to get by. That's all it is. So I hope I don't get in trouble for this shit. But I am sorry I did that. But I'm not sorry I did that because I still have my legs. So I'm sorry, but not sorry. And happy to have my legs.